Let's see. Do we have free? Ah. Better? I don't know. Alright, let's try it. Roll it. Take that. Oh, frick. Let's go for another. I used to play on here.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
I'm playing chess. Oh, frick! I just lost my rook.
Oh no.
Not good. I don't know what to do here. Lost my frickin' rook.
Freaking
You a rat? Where the hell am I supposed to move down? Oh, I'm supposed to take the piece? Alright, are you ready?
Nope.
Alright, I just lost some points in chess.com, it's fine.
Oh no.
I went up to 700 and then I went down to 670. Could have won that chef run.
I know I was... Oh, that one? Oh, I thought you were talking about the last one. For a second, but I realized you played loaded.
The one before the last one.
No, the last one, I was quite powerful. I just killed everything. But, yeah, I DC'd, which sucks.
Oh, that one? Oh, I meant the one before that one.
I know.
Oh, okay. You think False Son would... No, he wouldn't go into the nuke.
I don't even know if you could nuke.
I'm gonna use Bandit.
Okay.
Ready to...
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Ooh. Positive?
That's good.
You want it?
No, you. Good for you. I had plasma strength last time. It was so good.
How about instead of a depressing question, how about a funny question?
Sure.
What is, without detail, because I'm streaming to 0 viewers, the most embarrassing, how about that? I can switch the question. Most embarrassing moment of your entire life? Because if
I don't know.
you could say, what, sorry?
I don't know.
That's amazing. That's statistically impossible. Statistically, we think about our cringe moments twice a month. At least twice a month.
I have no idea what the most cringe thing I've ever done in my life is.
Or the most cringe thing you've ever done that you can think of. I think I know what mine is.
Okay.
But that'd be unfair if I said mine.
Yeah.
You could switch it.
I really can't think of anything.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No.
Nothing. Not a single thing.
I actually can't think.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
Try.
You don't finish things as most people?
I don't know.
Absolutely nothing. Not a single thing.
I don't know. I don't.
Sorry?
I can't. I don't know.
Nothing.
I've definitely had embarrassing moments, but I don't remember what they are.
Oh. Like repressed memories.
Maybe.
I wouldn't want to remember some of mine either. That's why I don't. How about awkward? That's easier.
It is easier.
I can think of right now one that happened like 2 months ago. Nothing? Still? That's statistically impossible. That's great. Why? How?
No, I'm trying to think.
Real? Are you
I'm trying to
think. How do you not have a single awkward or cringe memory that you can think of right now? Everybody has them every day. What are you doing? You're throwing. Like what? This is like asking someone what are your fears.
Wait, I might have one. I can think about
let's
it.
hear it.
Wait, no, you say yours first. I promise. I'll say mine. I need to think.
Why?
I need to think.
Why do I have to say mine first?
Because I need time to think.
You need time to think of yours. That's what you're doing. You're stalling.
No, I have one, but I need time to think of how to tell it. No, I promise. I promise you I have one.
I'm a lizard man.
I promise you, I promise.
I promise.
I have one. But I need time to think of how to say it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I swear.
Here's the one that I thought of immediately. This is so bad already. I haven't even said it. Actually, I could think of something worse. Probably. Wait, let me think. Oh no. Oh gosh. Oh no. No. This is so far buried, repressed. I just found out. I was just reminded of it. No. This is so painful.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Are you ready to hit the portal?
I'm trying to find the altar.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. This is bad.
What? Okay, what is it? What is it?
Oh my gosh. It sounds like I committed murder or something, the way I'm saying it.
does.
Alright, so what happened was, oh my gosh. Okay, because I'm streaming, I'm gonna not go into huge detail, and regardless if I'm streaming or not. I wouldn't really want to because it's so painful to relive it. Not that I mind
I think
hearing
you should see
it.
the teleport
It's
about
so painful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so no. No. Okay, a long time ago. Must have been okay, not that long ago. It was probably last year. It was last year. I was in English class. Oh my gosh. I'd rather say the one. I'd rather say anything but this. I promise you. I'd rather say anything but this. Like, this is so bad. This is actually so bad.
What is it? Can you
okay,
say?
Since you're not saying the most awkward moment of your life, I assume you didn't think of something that's the most awkward moment of your life. I'm dead. Never mind. The most awkward moment in your life? Because I know my most awkward moment in my life.
I'm saying the most awkward thing I can think of.
Exactly, so if that's the most awkward thing you can think of, I don't think that should I, do you think? It's up to you really.
I think you should just tell me this one.
Yeah, but I could think of something else that's super awkward. I don't think it has to be this first one.
Unless you really, really, really don't want to tell me that.
It's like a 9 out of 10 awkward.
Just tell me.
It's like a 9 out of 10 awkward. Can I tell you my 8s out of 10 awkward? Can I
Sure.
just tell you one of them? Okay, because the 9, yeah, okay, what is yours out of 10?
But how awkward it is?
Yeah, we have to match it. I'm not telling you a 9 for like a 3.
Ah, 7 or an 8 probably.
Okay, thank goodness I didn't say anything. Okay, I'll give you a 7 or 8 right now. No, not that one. I'll give you an 8 right now. No, wait, why is it so hard to? No wonder you don't want to do this. I believe that. I think you know what you're saying. You know what to think about. You just don't want to say it because I myself thought of the idea to do this, and I can't even say it. I think I know.
Yeah.
You know exactly what the most cringe and the most awkward moments you could think of, exactly in detail.
I know
you
what
just
I know.
Say it.
Yeah, I know the most cringe thing, or not cringe, but I know the most awkward thing I can think of.
I don't want to say it.
I don't think it's the most awkward thing ever that's ever happened to me. What's the most
I
awkward
know
thing
something that's probably the most awkward thing ever, or one of the most.
You should say it. You should say it.
No, it's actually awful. It's so bad.
That's why you have to say it.
No.
You got it. You got
To
it.
make me
Go.
uncomfortable in this kind of scenario, to make me feel cringe about myself is actually like the most monumental thing ever. And I don't know how these moments occurred. Because I'm the most cringe person in the world in terms of being able to like do cringe things and not care after. You have no idea how bad that is. I don't know. Fingers are worse. Alright, okay, I'll tell you the least awkward of the 3. It would be a 7 out of 10. Okay, here it goes. Okay, in grade 9, oh my gosh. They're all so bad! In grade 9, okay, when was yours? It can't be when you were like 10. When was yours?
Grade 9.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I could think of someone I was like 10. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay, when I was
when
like
in grade 9.
when I was in grade 9, and the previous year, Nathan Cashin had spread word, or actually told my grade 8 math classes on my YouTube channel. Therefore, I was gaining more talent in my school, in my high school. And then in grade 9, it kind of like exploded. My YouTube channel's kind of like popularity. Not like the whole school knew me. The only time I ever reached that kind of thing was like the talent show where the whole school knew of a Kermit act. They didn't actually know more than that probably. Well, that happened slightly otherwise. Like how would a whole school know that anyway, I think a lot of my grade YouTube channel or something like that. Well, not a lot of, I don't know, a decent amount, or at least what I would hope to be a decent amount, so it doesn't actually have to be a lot. Maybe I have low standards, I don't know. I'm trying to say this as, I'm trying not to brag. There is nothing to brag about. There's probably like, I don't know, a quarter or a third of the grade time. I walked out of, okay, a third sounds better, but I walked out of the school and I found the new altar. That's what happened. I found the new altar.
I already did it.
I walked out of the doors and one of the people from my math class was hanging around with some kids that were older. And they're like the cool kids and stuff. And I walked up and they were like saying, TikiTuber saying hi at my actual name. And they, okay, you promise to say yours after this because it's so stupid. Actually,
yeah, I'll say mine.
Okay, it's not as bad as it's not as bad as you're expecting probably, but it's so dumb. So I went up I went up to them and they this is so bad. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna turn off music. Okay, so I went up to them and after I went outside the school, out the doors, and I saw the cool kids and they knew who I was. And they're older and stuff. They were... Why did I pick this question? This is so bad to relive. They all try to like they all try to like dap me up, and I didn't have much experience in that endeavor, and it went really poorly, and I did that to all 7 of them, and then it was so bad that they started to do it to each other just to recover, and then they did it back. It went back to me again, and I still failed. And they just kind of, one of them looked at their hand and they just stared at their hand, like they just couldn't believe what just happened. It was so bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it was individually.
Like, what would you rate that?
I rated that 7 because I did it to 7 of them. 7 fails. No, more like 3 or 4 fails, but they kept going back in just to see if I learned. I didn't learn. Yeah, but this is like a new high school experience, you know. You're just getting into the community. You found the cool kids, and you know, and just absolutely obliterate your aura that you just gained in the school from being known from your YouTube channel. Okay, yeah, it's not, maybe it's more like a 6. How about this? If yours is genuinely horrible, I'll tell you my other 8. I'll tell you the 8 one. Yours is genuinely horrible, but it has to be genuinely horrible. Because I'm fair. I'm not gonna just give you that. It really just depends on yours. Let's see. I'm ready. Hit me.
I'm not ready.
I told you mine, and it was pretty bad.
I'm gonna tell you that.
You sound like you are.
I will.
You ready to hit the portal?
Oh shoot, I forgot about that. I was looking
in.
for pressure plates.
Oh.
I found one.
Oh, okay. I think I found the other.
Where is it? Can we do that? Actually, let's do it after the portal, maybe.
Alright, I'm waiting.
Me too.
You're waiting for yourself.
Yes.
Okay, is your story worse than my last one?
Yeah.
Okay, if it is, I'll tell you my other one, okay?
Okay.
Maybe. Just as long as I feel the same way. Waiting.
Me too.
You see how I did it? I just kept going for it until I succeeded. Because I said I said the word like at least 20 times before I actually said what happened.
Yeah.
You just gotta try it. Suck it up.
It's hard.
Yeah, I know.
I don't wanna.
Go for it. Go for it.
I don't know how it's the only thing I can think of because it's really awkward. Yeah, it's definitely at least an 8.
At least an 8.
Yeah, it might be.
Okay,
It might be worse when I start talking about it.
Okay, please just tell me. You're hyping it up now. Before there was no hype. Now there's hype. At least an 8 means it's horrible. Mine was really bad. It wasn't horrible. I want to hear a horrible one. It's actually really.
This is gonna take a while. Alright, well, the setting is, you know.
Alright.
I'm by the stairs.
Oh my god.
By the stairs on the floor.
Oh no. Why?
And a little bit of context.
This is literally the worst. Sorry?
Back in grade 9, a little bit of context. Back in grade 9, there's this girl who would sit by herself, maybe like 10 feet away from me, maybe a little less, but like I think a good distance, like whatever. She never talked to me, I never talked to her, whatever. And then one day, her friend was there, I guess.
Wait, you told me this story already.
I did? I don't think I did.
This sounds familiar.
I've not told you this.
Alright.
I've told no one this, I don't think.
Told no one this.
Oops!
What?
I accidentally hit the portal.
Oh, okay. Wait, which one? Blue one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wanted to do the pressure place.
Alright.
We're at 23 minutes on stage 3.
No, I'm waiting for you to finish this damn story because this is you know you're setting it up for something. I don't know what you're
Okay,
setting it up for, but you're setting it up for something.
it's me. It's me in
Okay.
here. It's me in here. Look, I'm stuck. I'm stuck
You're
in
stuck.
here.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh.
All right. What's the rest of the story? You like gave me an appetizer. But you
Give
didn't
you
actually
an
tell me the story.
intro.
Yeah, it was the intro. Not even an appetizer. You told me what the food's gonna be like.
Okay, and then yes, so then
Don't worry, it's not like it's gonna be streamed onto a YouTube channel for history.
Yo, I'm not even worried about that. It's just hard to say.
By the way, nobody watches my live channel for some reason, which is good for us.
Yeah, I kind of saw that.
The only time people were was the what's you call it? The Voidling run. I think that was Twitch too. That was Twitch. All right, yeah, you're good. You're good. Whatever you want to say, nobody's gonna know. Unless
Oh, I wasn't even worried about that.
You're not. I'm worried about that.
Okay, and then yeah, so I was sitting there.
Okay, this doesn't sound like you're setting up.
On there.
It sounds like you're setting up a 5.
They were all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they were. Okay, I'm gonna actually. Okay, I can't.
Just say it. Say it.
It's so hard.
Can you admit that my dapping one was pretty bad?
It was pretty bad.
Exactly. So
What's over here?
I gave it to you. Now I need to hear something in return. I've only told that story twice, by the way, or once. Sorry, once.
I've never told this story before.
Okay, but it took me 4 years to tell that last one. No wait, you're no. Okay. Damn it.
Me too. This is also 4 years ago. Wait, or is it 3 years ago?
Alright, just
3.5.
get it over with.
3.5
I want to
years ago.
hear why it's an 8 because it sounds like you're setting up a 5.
What do you think? What do you think I'm setting up here?
It's setting up a 5. That's what I'm hearing.
A 5.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. Just do it. You're setting up a 5. I can already tell.
Oh, it could be a 5 in your opinion. In my opinion, this is worse than the dap up one.
Yeah, but I dapped up like a group, an entire group individually, and each time everybody watched each single hit and miss, and they had to do it to each other right after because they were so grossed out by how poorly it went. One of them actually said, I think or something. Okay, now you have to tell me. You have to tell me. That was actually so bad. It's probably a 6.5. This was everything to me. I just got known in the school, and then suddenly this happens. Like, now I'm known for that. Okay. Get it over with. I hear a 5 right now. Come on.
Okay. There's like multiple stages to this. There's 3 stages.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I can hear it.
So the first stage, they were talking, right? They were talking.
Okay.
And it was loud. And I was. This isn't important. I'm stalling. Okay, and then okay, they were talking, and it was loud.
Oh, you're
and then
1080p 60 FPS. Sorry.
Great. Luckily, I wasn't recorded at that time. And then okay, well, okay, then her friend or whatever started looking at me, and
You told me this story.
I didn't. I did not tell you the
I
story. I
swear
can
you told
guarantee
me
you.
the story. Alright,
I did not tell you the
I'm gonna
story.
stop interrupting. Sorry.
You're not interrupting anything because I'm not going anywhere. Oh my god.
Do it!
Uh, okay, so I mean, a few more minutes pass, I guess. I'm trying to like hide in my corner. I'm trying to
hide
just.
behind nothing.
No, I'm hiding behind nothing. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to be small. I'm
Yeah.
looking at my phone and nothing else.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm doing anything on my phone.
Okay.
And then
You
and
wanna hit the
then
portal?
no, because I know we'll be running around doing nothing if we go.
That's true.
And then like we just wasted like 10 minutes.
Actually, I'd rather. Yeah, let's just stay here. You're right.
And then
I wanna take it in. I wanna hear
yeah, okay, I
this
was doing that
beautifully
for
awkward.
that happened for a few minutes. And then oh, I don't even remember how it started. Oh yeah, and then they started like walking like in front of me back and forth, but they're trying to be really discreet about it.
Okay.
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 And then
Yeah.
and I was still trying to hide.
Yeah. By doing nothing.
Yeah, by doing nothing, but
Okay.
like what was I supposed to do? And then they
You could literally hide.
yeah, it's like
Like take your hoodie off
yeah,
and then put it over your face.
that would make it so bad. That would be a really like cringe
That would be funny though.
cringe
That'd be
moment.
funny.
It would be fun. It would be kind of funny. But no, like okay, I did. Yeah, I was hiding. They started walking
Alright.
back and forth in front of me, and then like I could see they were back at where they were in the first place, and in the corner of my eye they were writing
Oh.
writing something on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Wait,
I
this
don't
is
know
gonna
why.
be so good. I
I don't
just
know.
figured it out. This
I
is
don't
so
know
much
why.
better than I expected.
I don't know why they did this,
Yeah.
but this is stage 1, by the way.
Oh
But
no.
they started they started they just started running. Okay.
What? What does that have to do with anything?
They ran past me,
Yeah.
and as they ran past me,
They dropped.
they dropped this piece of paper.
Yeah.
And you know what I did?
What?
You know what I did?
What?
I completely ignored it.
Oh.
I just left it there.
Yeah.
I pretended not to see it.
Yeah.
It was pretty close to me.
Yeah.
So after like 30 seconds, they walked back over and picked the piece of paper up. And then they didn't say anything to me. They just looked at me and picked up the piece of paper, and then they went back to where they were.
Yeah.
And then they decided to do this again.
Okay.
The exact same thing. They ran, like actually ran past me and dropped the note, and I ignored it again.
Oh.
I pretended not to see it. And then I think they picked it up again, and then they did it one more. They did it one more time, and I did the same thing. I ignored it.
Okay.
And then okay. After a few minutes, I heard them talking. I don't remember what they said anymore, but I could hear they were talking about me, and it was like just loud enough for me to kind of hear. And then this made me even more like wanting to hide.
Okay.
So I was hiding. And then, okay, after a few minutes, I'm still like looking at my phone, hoping they just leave.
Okay.
After a few minutes, they finally they come up to me,
Yeah.
and they they ask
Yeah.
if I have Snapchat.
Okay.
And so I look up from my phone at them.
Yeah.
I look back at my phone.
Yeah.
I go. I don't know why I did this. I go to where I had Snapchat,
Yeah.
and then I went there. You know, like how you group apps together.
Yeah.
I went to there. It's like my social media thing, and then
Yeah.
Snapchat was there, and then I looked at my phone. I looked back at them, and I said, I said, I don't know.
What?
I said I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah. And I don't actually. I think I actually just like blocked out the rest of what happened, like then. But I think we very briefly talked for a second,
Okay.
and then I think I probably said I don't know again,
Okay.
and because they probably like asked for, you know, more clarification because that's not really an
Yeah.
answer.
Well, yeah.
And then oh, this is stage 2, by the way.
Okay.
And then I think I don't even remember what happened, but eventually the interaction ended.
Okay.
And I thought that was it because, you know, that was during lunch,
Yeah.
obviously. So it was starting to it was getting to the end of lunchtime. I thought that was it. I thought it was fine because like what else would they do? What else would they do, right? And then so yeah, lunch is like ending. I get up, like I put my backpack on. I get up to go to class, my last class or whatever. And then I didn't even know they were there. But like I'm walking and they yell from like across, like
Oh
where
my
this
gosh.
where where the staircase is. It's like this big open kind of area. There's like some benches and stuff. Oops. and well, that's distracting me. Okay, and then yeah, it's like this open area. There's like a bunch of benches, and they yell from across that entire area. Which there's a lot of people there, by the way, because that's like people go there for lunch. They yell, "So is that a no?" Like loudly, and
Oh.
I don't even respond. I shrug. I shrug at them and then walk away.
What? You shrug?
I shrug at them and walk away.
Is that a no? I don't know. Okay, can I tell you something? Is that the whole story?
Yeah.
That is not an 8.
Not an 8.
Not an 8, bruv.
In my opinion, it is.
I think the running part would have been, in my opinion, extremely hilarious and flattering at the same time. But
I don't even know what that was about.
the rest, a little awkward.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say.
What do you mean a little awkward? That's so awkward.
Okay, but that's
That's
because
so
you
awkward.
kind of like sat in the same place and just said, I don't know to every question.
Yeah. That was awkward for me. It's more awkward than your dap up for
No,
sure.
okay.
Like
What I'm saying is the dap up thing was an uncontrollable situation. I can't
Yeah.
fix that situation no matter how many times I
Okay,
go
that's-
back in time. Your situation, all you had to do is just walk away or give an honest, give a proper answer. I don't know, and shrugging is not really an answer. I honestly, your story.
which makes it awkward. This isn't about whether or not you could go back in time and make it not awkward. This is about an awkward moment. That's a pretty awkward moment. That happened. I can't change what happened, and that was awkward.
It sounds uncomfortable. It doesn't sound super awkward in my opinion. It sounds very uncomfortable, but it doesn't sound super awkward. It sounds super uncomfortable. So if I were to give it a super awkward rating, I'd give it a 6.2. I'd give it 0.3 under mine.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
And the reason why is because
That's awesome.
only 2/3 of it was actually in the realm of awkward. And of the 2/3 of it, you kind of gave a random response where your own actions were kind of... Actually, wait a minute. Let me think about this.
Talking about
Wait,
your own actions were the dap ups.
Okay, wait.
What are you doing? What are you talking about?
I need to think about this. Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, it's a little worse than I expected. I think my initial reaction is not deserving of what it actually was. Maybe a 7.
I'd say a 7's fair. I'd give it an 8 in my opinion.
I think maybe... Since 1/3 of it was funny, 7 or 7 point something. But the 1/3 of it hugely affects my rating. Because
Okay.
the 1/3 of it's just hilarious. I couldn't believe that. That's actually hilarious. No, it's so funny.
Ridiculous.
I would think that would be the most hilarious, most entertaining thing ever. I would have been so amused. But the other part of it, yeah, that's comfortable. Yeah, I mean, could I give you a 0.5 story? I don't think I could. Alright, you know, I'm surprised you went with, you know, that actually, I was expecting something much less uncomfortable than that.
Yeah. That's what came to mind.
Alright, congratulations, you shrugged. There you go. Yeah, that is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
It really was, for the 2/3 of it, it was your fault. The 1/3 of it, the running part, was completely just their fault for being too hilarious.
Yes. That's insane.
That's so
It's an
funny.
insane thing to do.
It's very funny.
But no, it was my fault, yeah. As I didn't want to just say no. I don't know.
You just wanted to say, I don't know. That's worse.
I didn't know what to say.
That's
I didn't
worse.
know what to say. I know.
Because, could you imagine how many months or even years they're just guessing?
Because I didn't want to, like, be mean or anything.
No, you just want to be even more mean. You just want
Yeah.
to be Could you imagine?
I was
Every
trying
night, this
not
is what
to
they're
be.
thinking about. If they were that determined to... Okay, I'm making it worse for you, aren't you? Alright, never mind. Enough. I don't want to make you think about their pain. But they probably were in pain after. Avoiding saying no probably was worse than saying no by a lot. Okay, it was, because now you're saying the story.
Yeah. If I just said no, the only
There would
funny
be no
part,
story.
it would,
Yeah.
no, the only part of the story would be the running part.
You would, yeah, that would have been such a Sigma male edit.
What?
I don't know. I'm just joking.
What did you just say to me? What did you? Oh, get out of here! What is that? What the hell?
Just trying to make a joke.
What did you just say? What did you just...
I'm just trying to make a joke.
Never say that again. Never say that again. What is that? What is that?
Legitimately, that would have been such a cool moment for you if you just said no. You'd have been the big boss in that situation. But you ended up. That time I wasn't joking. I wasn't joking.
That would have been a Sigma male moment.
No,
that's what you say to me. Oh
Sigma
my
male
god.
edit moment, I meant.
That's even worse. Sigma male edit. Sigma male edit. That's the most awkward thing. That's your 10 out of 10 awkward. Okay,
no,
what is this?
I said it to a complete stranger, maybe. No, okay, the joke part was a joke, but the actual, genuinely, honestly, that would have been such a not bad ours, but that would have been such a cool moment for you if you just said no. It just would have been no awkwardness. Not cool, because you'd feel bad, but that would have been such a normal moment if you just said no.
I know. That's why it's so awkward. I shrugged. Everyone was like looking at me.
Really?
Everyone in there was looking at me because they yelled out to me.
Yeah.
And then I shrugged. I shrugged at them. Oh my god, bro. What? What also made it more awkward for me is that they were a year younger than me.
Oh, that's.
I don't know. That kind of made it awkward, more awkward.
Oh, it's not weird. I just meant like it's way weirder in comparison to, like, way more uncomfortable.
At least they weren't older than me by like more than 2 years. That would have been real. That would have been so bad. That would be worse.
I think the only way for it to be like normal, most reduced awkwardness is same age.
Yeah.
I think the shrugging part was the worst part.
Yeah.
The social media part was whatever. The shrugging part was the worst part. I would have given that single moment, like, yeah, 6 out of 10. No, this is worse than mine.
Oh, that was worse.
This is definitely worse than my
That was
story.
worse.
How many people are
Yeah.
looking at you?
Probably about 20.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, maybe 7.5.
Yeah.
Do you require a better awkward story, or do you think mine was sufficient enough? In the
I
terms
don't
of justice?
require one, but I want one.
In the terms of justice. That's why I'm saying. Outside
I mean,
the
mine was
desire.
worse. Mine was worse.
It wasn't
But-
horrendously worse, though.
No, it wasn't. Well, in my opinion, it's considerably worse. Especially because that one moment was like maybe a minute, and
Actually,
mine
this
lasted
story
for,
probably
like-
tops my other story. The only story it doesn't top is my,
English class one. I know that one wasn't that bad. That one was not the bad one, I think.
Does this top all of my stories? This might top all of my stories. That one, you know, all of it was fine up until you shrugged. Like, that's
Yeah.
the only part that tops any of my stories. Well, okay, well, Dan, I will say this, I'll tell you this for free.
Okay.
I mean, there was that time Dan pantsed me in front of basically all of my friends at the time. Still, doesn't compare. Because I knew them. Even though one of them was a girl. I knew them, it's fine. It does, none of them are as bad as your story. None of them. Was actually, This doesn't make sense though, because like I'm the type of person to engage in situations in which I should be having like way worse stories than you. I am way more cringe a person than you. I'm way more a cringe a person than anyone.
Yeah, but this was outside of my
I don't
control.
know how you. Okay, no, you didn't have to shrug.
Well, the situation was outside of my control.
Okay,
I don't know.
when they said, "Is that a no?" you should have said, "Yeah." That would have been so funny.
Yeah.
I actually be so proud of you. That would have been so funny. Instead,
Yeah, I didn't
you
fucking
give the
do that,
most
bro.
disappointing performance of all time. The shrug is the because I don't know is the worst answer to any question. I don't know is no answer. And if they were too far, you could have just nodded. Oh my gosh. Is there anything worse than this?
Yeah, they were far enough. They had to shout and get the
Okay.
attention of 20 people.
You could nod there. Do I have anything worse?
Well, yeah, that's why I shrugged and not.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Do I really? Okay, what do you think the pantsing moment was? I think that would be a 3 out of 10 because I was really close friends with all of them. They were way more embarrassed than I was.
I would say like 5 for that.
I would have said 3 because I was so close to them. There was 5 friends, I'd say, in total. That would include Josh and Dan. By the way, this wasn't a quick pants. This was like a solid, like, it was a solid pants. Like, it's not like someone was looking away. Everybody saw. This
Okay.
was a solid thing. Like, it was a solid 2 seconds or a second. I got him back I got him back. This has nothing to do with anything. I got him back 10 years later at high school. That was elementary. And only...
Elementary?
Yeah, that was elementary school.
Oh, then that's like a 2.
Yeah. Yeah, but this was the older elementary. This was like grade 5 or grade 4. Grade 5, I think.
So,
So that would have been 10. You're still at the school at the time. This might
yeah.
be grade 4. And yeah, I got him back in high school when nobody was in the school. It was just 5 of us, ironically, in there, and got him back to someone else. And then when I was telling the story at a hangout, and then he pantsed me at the hangout when I was telling the story about how he still owes me a pants because I'm winning. And that was the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life.
I don't know why you would say that.
I spent a good 10 minutes after that questioning life. But no, it happened. You could ask Josh. He was there. So he pantsed me at the hangout, which I was very fast to recover from in terms of pulling up the pants. Oh yeah, do you want to know something funny after that? I'm going to mute the stream.
Yeah.
So they can hear you, but they can't hear me.
Okay.
Just don't say the name that I'm about to say.
Okay.
And everything's fine. After I tried to pants Dan right after. This has nothing to do with anything. It's just funny. And
I think I know what you're about to say.
and then I couldn't. And then Teo was just making a huge deal of it. She was like screaming,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the hangout in your pants, Dan.
That's crazy.
Oh, no, she didn't say that. She said, don't do that. I don't wanna like be there for that. I don't wanna see it. Whatever.
That's bad for both of you.
Sorry?
That's bad for both you and Dan.
Why?
Well, for you, she's targeting you. Like Dan just did it, but she only has a problem when you do it. But with Dan, she's saying she doesn't want to see that.
No, I thought... No, that's why I wanted to tell you this story. When Dan did it to me, nobody cares. But when I do it to Dan, she makes this huge deal about, oh, I don't want to be there for that. I said, will you look away? And she said, no, you can't do that. I'm not. So yeah, I wanted to tell you about that because she major league insulted him. It's such an awkward thing. If he was in the room, that'd be the most awkward thing. But luckily he wasn't when she said that. That meant like she was basically saying that Dan repels her completely. Hello? Have you
Huh?
been
What do you mean
pantsed?
hello? What do you mean hello?
You weren't saying anything.
We're still speaking. What do you want me to say?
Oh.
What? What? Yo! 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 What
No,
are you talking about?
Okay. I'm right. Wait, is that what you meant by that's an insult to Dan? That Dan repelled
Yes.
her and... Okay, yeah.
Yes, but
That's what I felt
also
about
she
it.
was... Yeah, but also she was... Like... In a way, like, saying that you couldn't, like, get him back. But it was okay for him to fancy you, so...
What do you mean, like, I couldn't... How would that be, I don't think she was saying that. I think she was just saying she didn't want to see me pants Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. Because, yeah, that's what I gathered. That's what I gathered. The genuine hate from her only happened after. She was good for the first few hangouts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. After a while, people just turn out not to be how they first were and ended up being jerks. That's the story of my life. A lot of people, a lot of enemies. Anyway, I thought I wanted to tell you that because that meant from what I gathered, it had nothing to do with me being unable to do it. It was just the thought of seeing Dan was just so repelling that she was actually so disgusted. She explained her disgust in great detail.
That's sad.
It is sad. It's very insulting. Because from what I gathered, she was pretty neutral with me, and therefore she couldn't care less. But with Dan being pants, she made this whole revolting kind of issue.
Yeah. It's definitely not okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the add-on I wanted to say. I miss those times though, because at that time I was getting along with both of them. I was getting along with Taya and Evan back then. I don't miss those times. I like these times more. I think
that's
that
good.
I'd rather play Risk of Rain with you than be sitting in a hangout right now, which would have been the scenario a year ago, exactly a year ago. And literally a year ago, I was sitting with Evan and Taya and them, and getting along with them, but I'd still rather... Ah, that's nice. I normally don't say nice things. Okay, I'm gonna unmute myself.
Okay.
Do you think that's
okay.
wholesome what I just said? I normally don't say nice things like that.
Can you repeat it?
You like that? Are you freaking kidding me? I'm gonna punch you through this monitor. What the? Are you kidding me? You're the shrug man. That's what you are. You're the shrug guy. 20
Alright.
people. Come on. Come on.
Alright,
You can't hear
bro.
me say one nice thing. All right. What I said was Okay, now I have to mute again. You piece of cow. Okay. Okay, exactly 1 year ago. Okay, you know what? Frick you. I'm saying
Exactly 1 year ago,
Exactly
you were
1
okay.
year ago,
Yeah.
I was sitting around some
Would
people
be
I
in a
got along
hangout.
with, and they liked me, and now I'm enemies with, or I was, I guess. Now I simply just don't care anymore. If they see me that way, but I doubt it. Actually, yeah, they do. Doesn't matter. I don't care. So I'd still be rather a year later, if I could switch places, like being at one of those things again with all those people getting along and all that stuff, and you know, now enemies. But I'd still rather a year later be playing Risk of Rain with you, same time 1 year later, 12 o'clock. Despite having
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. So yeah, I don't say nice things often, but there you go. There's a nice thing. Someone told me that he said Tyson, you never show you never open up. He said you're a heartless robot. Paraphrasing.
Heartless robot.
I'm paraphrasing. He basically called me a heartless robot. He said you basically never show your affection, and it's true. So there you go. Frick you. It's over. I'm almost angry that I had to say that. That's how, you know. Anyway. Are you ready to hit the portal?
Almost.
I don't care. Yeah, it's just... I mean, the main thing is that, you know, I became enemies with some of them, but... Okay, that's not the main thing. That was like 50%. The other 50% is I'm genuinely enjoying this. I've been enjoying this for the last however long it's been. I understand what genuine connection is, which is very ironic because we're playing a video game. We're talking on Discord, which is traditionally not what to be called as genuine connection. But I understand genuine connection. It's when you can trust another person or truly get along with another person and not have to fake it or act otherwise in any way. You wouldn't have many moments where you're just thinking, oh wow, I really didn't get along with this person or with these people, but the fact that I can say yeah, I'm stopping myself there. I don't wanna have feelings.
What?
Heartless robot. Let's stay that way. Alright.
Uh-huh.
Let's do this.
Well, I'm not ready yet. Not ready yet.
That was one of the hardest quotes ever of all time. When I was told that brutal piece of information that don't really ever make myself vulnerable ever for anyone. Like truly, truly vulnerable. That really hit me hard because it's not false. I was like complaining. I was complaining to someone. I said, "You're never vulnerable," and they said, "You're literally never vulnerable." And I was like, oh. I don't think it's completely true though. It is true, but it's not completely true. I'm gonna think of another question for us. More stories. Your story, I mean, I can see laughing it off because they don't. At the end of the day, who's gonna remember that? Who's gonna remember? Oh, it was Noah who had that moment. Like, who? I saw those same guys after the Dap Up story. Every month for the next 3 years outside, and they saw me a few times. Okay, it was bad. You never saw these people ever frickin' again.
Well,
It may have been a worse story, but you never saw those people again. I saw these people.
Well, I saw them again,
Oh.
but I didn't interact with them.
I saw these people every month for the next 3 years after that. Outside. The same, because they never moved. They were always in the same place. What's the most courageous thing you've ever done in your life?
No idea.
That's just amazing. Like, what? You know, that's way easier than the most awkward.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Fucking courageous? What do you mean, bro? I'm not courageous. Who do you think I am?
Even if you're a scared person, you can still think of the most courageous thing you've ever done. Literally could have been, I don't know, frickin' saying hi to the bus driver. Like, I've never frickin' done that. And I consider myself usually a very more brave than I should be when I do certain things and I say certain things that I regret so much. I can be quite offensive. I don't know if you've noticed in the last how many years that we've known each other, but I can be pretty offensive sometimes, saying unfiltered stuff. Around you, not as much. Around other people, holy crap.
No, I definitely know that about you.
Okay, good. Around other people, I've said way worse stuff. Like, directly to you, I've probably said the least offensive stuff to... Well, okay, that's not true, but...
And I think I also just... I understand that... Like,
Okay.
I know you better.
Because I've been really unfiltered and
most
I've said
people.
some really stupid stuff in front of others. Okay, maybe not courageous. Actually, you can't think of anything?
No?
Alright. anything
I mean,
that
I
I've
haven't really
done.
thought about it, but
Okay, well, it's something to think about because it helps self-esteem for sure. That's what I've learned. If I've learned anything in life, I think that anything stupid that I've personally done had a great amount of courage in it. Anything seriously stupid, and I've done a lot of seriously stupid things in my life. I was gonna say, what's the most depressing thing you've ever been told, um, or said to you? I mean, not told, said to you rather. But the last time I said the words that I could tell you, the person I told said that they didn't believe me because it was too bad. It was they didn't think another human could say those words to another person. That's how
okay,
bad
what is it?
I'm not joking. Like that was like a 9.8. I don't know how you could say something worse to another person. No, there is literally nothing. I would rate it almost a 10. I wouldn't rate it a 10 just to think of maybe there's something else out there. But I don't think there's another more severe thing you could say to another human.
Hey, what did they say, bro?
The last time I said this, the person that I told, the friend that I told about this, they said, I don't believe. They ran away. They went to
Oh,
the other
was
side.
it?
They went
Was
to
it
the.
me? I don't
No.
think so.
No, 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 no. In fact, I've heard way worse from way more people than you. I think you probably, out of the people that I've known well, you probably said the, like, I'm talking a single one-liner severe thing. I don't think you've ever done something like that. I'm sure you've said offensive things, but I don't think you've ever said a one-liner severe thing. I'm talking a one-liner severe thing.
Yeah, what was it?
I can't even tell you. I can't. I just can't. It's too
Okay, then
severe.
why bring it up, bro?
I don't know.
Why
Honestly,
bring it up?
I don't know. It's, perhaps. Yeah, I don't know. It's just awful. It's just awful. What's another question? Oh, well, I brought it up because I was saying, what's the most severe and depressing thing anyone's ever said to you? But I said I don't think that would be a good idea. And on top of that, the thing I would say is too severe to even say because it's the most severe thing you could say to another human being. So I was gonna say. And I've been told some pretty severe stuff in my life, but that takes the cake. It wasn't even nice. The perfect moment for for a dramatic. This is a this is a heartfelt dramatic moment.
I actually do have something about. I don't.
I'm just saying you can't
You
possibly.
made me think about it.
I know, but you can't possibly tell me something that matches mine. Okay, this wasn't said from someone close. By the way, this is said from someone who's very distant. Very.
That makes it better.
No, it makes it worse in every way. Because
How does that possibly make it worse?
because
That's actually so
they
cool.
knew me enough. They knew me well enough to which how they said it. It was so bad. There was a bully in the room that was a known school bully at the time, and everybody hated this person. And that person had to leave the room and cover their face because they couldn't believe what this other person said to me.
Okay, what did they say at this point? You can't just not tell me, bro.
No, it was
You can't
literally a
just
10
not
out of
tell me.
10. Like, you couldn't get worse than this. This
Okay,
is
what did
so
they tell you?
bad. This is worse
Can you
than,
just mute
like,
yourself? Whatever, just.
this is worse than a parent saying, I don't love you, genuinely. Like, genuinely saying, I don't love you. This is worse than that. That would be a 9 for me.
Okay. Okay.
This is a
Now,
10.
can you tell
I'm
me?
not
Can you
telling
just
you.
tell me,
Oh, this is too bad.
Tyson? I'm about to just like leave this call right now.
No.
This is ridiculous.
What
You
would
can't.
yours be?
Okay. I don't know if I'd want it.
Exactly. If you don't want to tell yours, then it's perfectly reasonable for me to say I don't want
Okay,
to.
but I haven't been talking about it
Oh, that's true.
for.
Okay, no, I'm not saying. I'm not saying. I'm just telling you how much it probably should have affected me then, but I don't. It didn't register me because I was too young. It's too young. What's another question? What's the most moral thing you ever done in your life?
I don't know, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
The most kind thing. Seriously? You can think of, rather. You can think of. The most kind thing.
No.
I can think of mine.
Okay, what is it?
You had to give me something in yeah, it's a sharing thing.
I don't, man. I don't know what.
Anything you can think of, I'll tell you it.
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
You're not a kind person? You can't tell me one kind. Come on. To be fair though, a lot of kind people are too humble to remember all the kind things that they've done. Tell me! At a target, I'll tell you.
I don't have anything. I don't know.
You don't have anything.
No.
Great. Alright, I'll think of something else.
Okay. I can't really think of the most. Like I could rarely think of, like when you ask like the most something.
Well, that you
Something.
can think of. That you can think of.
It's just I don't know why it's hard. Like the only thing I could think of was awkward, that I could think of, and like the most painful thing anyone's ever said to me. But that the painful one is actually like that's just because it's like it's engraved in my memory.
I repressed
That
mine, honestly.
that one's actually the worst thing anyone's ever said to me. It's not the worst thing I could think of. It's actually the worst thing anyone's ever said to me.
Okay. Well, I just because I would rate mine a 9.8 or 10, I'm not. I still like. I'm not gonna disregard like because it's different. Like if it's said to you, then it means more to you than if it was said to me because it was said to you. Because if something's painful, it's only painful because it was said specifically to you.
Yeah.
What else? What's something? What's the most wholesome thing you can think of? Moment.
I don't know. It's the same thing as the moral one. I don't know, man.
Wholesome. Not moral, but the most wholesome moment of your life. Oh, I could think
This
of
isn't.
one.
This isn't probably one of the most wholesome of my life.
I can think
But
of
wholesome.
think of.
Yeah, that I can think of right now is picking up bear.
What?
Like picking up bear like not literally
Just
picking her up
normally?
like no like
Oh.
picking her up when she was like a puppy
Okay,
like
that
picking her
makes
up from the
sense.
U.S.
I
and
thought
bringing
you
her
meant
back
like
like
just
because she was
normally.
so like small.
Okay.
It's like it makes you like appreciate life, I guess. It's
Okay.
kind of a weird feeling.
I thought you meant like
A
just
very
yesterday.
wholesome feeling, I guess.
Something.
No, 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 no. Like when I picked her up, as in like gained ownership, I guess.
I really want to tell you mine because it still makes me feel happy.
Well,
It's
yeah.
just wholesome.
I thought that's kind of yeah. What is it?
Uh, like you said, it's not the most wholesome moment, but that I could probably in my entire life. But um, I could think of two. I could think of two. Do you want to hear two? It's just happy. I don't have to talk
Sure.
about sad things all night. Or awkward. Awkward's associated with pain, so. In judo, I had a friend. I'm not gay, so this is a girl. I just need to state that now. I don't need
Okay.
But that's such a stupid opening. Yeah, I had a friend, and I mean, it's not. I didn't really have to state that. It's just like, I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. It depends. It's not like that. It's just okay. It could be perceived that way. Could be perceived that way. So I'll just say that now. I had a judo friend, and after judo ended, the season ended, or the class ended. I can't remember. I think it was the season ended or whatever. And this is like, I don't know, like I've been doing it for at least 5 years now, or 4 years, and I've been pretty much alone the whole time, except a handful of friends that I had, and a handful meaning like literally 2 or 3. And the season ended, and this is shortly before Josh and Dan arrived, so I was quite alone in terms of I had to, I met these people, and while we were cleaning up and getting ready from the bleachers, not cleaning up, but while I was getting ready to leave with the bleachers, there was a crowd of people. This is just wholesome, by the way. It's just there was a crowd of people leaving from the bleachers. Are you still with me? I don't want to bore
Yep.
you.
I'm still here.
I did way too much of a lead up for such a small thing, but there's a crowd, and you could barely see, but I saw my friend at kind of far away, and actually I think I did this with Michael when we graduated. That's also wholesome. But it's different with Michael because I'm way closer to Michael than I ever was with this person. That's why I gave that disclaimer. So we just smiled at each other. Like not a brief smile, but a long pause. And that was it. That was the end of the judo season. And then that's when Josh and Dan arrived the next year. And it was a completely different environment. It was like if school ended, you were just smiling at this classmate you've known for the last 5 years, and you've only had literally 3 friends, and then 1/3 of your friends. You just smile at each other. And do you think that's wholesome? Was that worth it?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was really I don't know. That made me feel good inside. Another one was in grade 8 when nothing went well in my life, except some things. Actually, not nothing, but some things. Obviously, it's possible that nothing. But I was looking back on some videos, and there was a video of me. I used to lip sync in front of my computer and record it, and I always did it alone. And I never, and I came across this video, and this is just all sad memories for me because I don't want to remember any of that time. I don't want to remember any of that year. And my parents are both looking at me when I'm lip syncing during the song Something Just Like This or whatever. I don't know if it's Coldplay or not. And I'm lip syncing with all my heart, and my mom goes up and she starts dancing with me. And that just made me feel so good watching that because I don't even remember that. And then the final wholesome thing was... No, that's it.
Okay.
Were those things wholesome?
Yes, they were. They were.
Doesn't sound like you're impressed. Doesn't sound like I really hit an 8
No,
or a 9.
no. Those were wholesome things. Those were wholesome
Because
things.
with
I don't know how.
whatever I
I don't
do,
know
I
how to
want to
react.
be the best at, like, not, sorry, I don't want to be the best. I want to do the best that I can do. Yeah, I want to be the best at what I can do. Like, I want to do my best. Sorry?
What do you mean, sorry?
I kind of just, I hope I didn't zone you out.
No,
Well, I only recall half of what you just said, but
I don't recall any of what I just said.
that's amazing. You full zone yourself out. What's the app? Okay, I don't want to dive into anything too personal. You could just give me like the most generic, most general version of it where you don't have to tell anything about it. But happiest moment of your entire life. Boom. Easy claps. That you can.
That's a terrible question. That
It's
sucks.
so easy. It's so easy.
That's
I
a
can remember
really hard
mine even
question.
though it was literally a decade ago. It's easy. It's kind of sad my happiest moment of my life was a decade ago. Okay. It's easy. Come on. Come on, let's go. What's yours?
I don't know.
If I told you mine, would it give you enough time to maybe think of something?
I'll try. I'll promise you I'll try.
Alright, I'll tell you mine. This is a 10 out of 10. Everything else I've ever experienced in my entire life was in the 9s, even 9.9 probably. But this was the 10. No, this is still 9.9 maybe, because I hope one day I'll find a 10 out of 10 in the future. Happiest moment of my life, but for now I want to keep it at 9.9 because I don't want to say 10 out of 10 because that just says I'm not going to experience anything like that ever again. But I was it's sad me saying this because I was so happy in the memory. That's how happy it was. Makes me sad now. But not sad, but a little bit nostalgic. Maybe it was a decade ago. I don't know how long ago it was. Probably not that long ago, honestly. Probably not that long ago. 10 years ago? 9 years ago? Something like that. I was, just lying there. And this memory isn't with just me alone, because I'd be a super narcissist. Actually, maybe you could have a happiest moment alone, but I mean, I'd hope it would be like with family or someone. I was lying there with my friend, looking at the sky or looking at just the landscape, and that's it. Just talking. That's it. Does it need more detail?
No. I understand that kind of feeling you're talking about.
I was just in complete peace. There's nothing in the world that I
Yeah,
felt.
I know exactly what you mean.
This was before I had stupid crap at Bing. Like this was genuine peace. Like you couldn't get more peaceful than this. I hadn't experienced anything negative enough for me to genuinely reflect. I was just pure peace. That was the happiest moment of my entire life. There. I've had many like it, like almost that to that level, but I think that was probably the highest. Voidling would be like, if that was a 9.9 Voidling I'd still rate high. Yeah, I'd still rate Voidling high. I'd probably give Voidling like a 8.5, 8.7. Is that reasonable? Is that where you would put it?
Oh. Yeah, I put Voiling high 8.7 or something.
Because it was the relief. We just did it. We frickin' did it. We did it together. We
Yeah.
frickin' did it. If we did it alone, I bet that would have been like a 6 for me.
Same.
Or 7 max.
It's an accomplishment, but it's nothing crazy.
It's better when you do something with someone else.
Yeah.
You know that happiest moment? I literally hadn't experienced a single losing a friend ever. I hadn't experienced literally nothing wrong in my life. Everything was so perfect. At this point in my life, I would traumatize my younger self with what I've been through since. I've lost more friends than I can count, literally. Literally, I could not tell you how many. It's in the tens. Like tens of friends.
I understand.
It's kind of, yeah. And that's just a start. That's not to talk about the other parts of life that is full of suffering and stuff. But just to start it off, I had not lost any friends then, and now I've lost more friends than I could count. And if you wanna, not if you want to, I mean like if anybody would want to argue, hey, like, have you lost a ton of close friends? Really, like you only have like a handful throughout your life of really close people. I honestly have lost so many close people of friends. So, frick you. Whoever would ever say that. What's the happiest moment you can think of? This has got to be the easiest question.
It's not.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you already said 2019, right? So.
Yeah. I don't know, man. So,
Can I tell you, like, something that's in my top probably, like, 15?
sure.
Maybe give you inspiration for a moment?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I was loading up Fortnite. Chapter... That's it. I was loading up Fortnite. I was loading up Fortnite. I think it must have been Chapter 3, Season 1. When did they have that frickin' big flower lotus thing in the middle of the map?
Chapter 3?
Yeah, Chapter 3, Season 1, right?
Season 2.
Oh, okay. They had that, and it was the summer or something.
No, Season 3.
Okay, Season 3. And it was the summer break starting for me. It must have been grade 9 or grade 10. Something like that. And, no, grade 10. It had to have been grade 10. So the year prior, I lost many friends. Not so many close ones. But I lost a lot of friends. Maybe a couple kind of close, not super close, but kind of close. But I lost a lot of friends, and I basically felt like I was in a rut where I could not recover or trust anyone after that ever again. Because I just opened up my trust to all these people and failed once again. They failed me once again in my heart. I believe that, even though it's probably my fault for entering into some of those friendships. But that happened, and I felt a little bit kind of just I didn't know what to do, and I was loading. Well, I did know what to do. I was loading up Fortnite. That's what I was gonna frickin' do. I was loading it up, and this song just kept playing, the Fortnite trailer song, and it was just so good. And at the same time of me hearing the song, it was the perfect song. It was one of the best songs related to Fortnite, in my opinion. I get this message on Instagram, and was it a message or something? No, it was a follow. It was a follow. It was a follow. Blank followed you, and that person, I'm not gonna say who, but that person was. Actually, I will tell you who. I'll just mute the stream. But that person was someone I was feuding with the previous year, and I didn't think I would get any of my friends back. Or, sorry, I didn't think I would have any good relations with any of these people ever again. Ever again. And I get this basically relinquished my hope and my faith in humanity. Because all of it was basically, all my trust was completely lost after that. And I get, a year later, I get this follow, blank followed you on Instagram, even though they blocked me for the whole year since. Because I feuded with them for a year, and then it was a year since, and yeah, that was my moment. It was just, I was so happy that things didn't have to keep in that gruesome ending of how things ended. It basically just relinquished my hope in people. Because I was not at fault completely for all those things ending. It was because other people didn't know how to deal with me, essentially, when I acted like myself. Like, just who I, like, personality-wise, not, like, offensively or anything like that, just personality.
Yeah.
They just didn't like my personality, eventually. And yeah, that was it. I'll mute the stream, but I'll tell you who it was.
Okay.
There's Caleb.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, that movie. Frick.
Makes sense.
Oh my gosh. I'm muted the stream for no reason. I don't care. I don't freaking care. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm a honey badger. That's who I am. That's who I am. I muted the wrong device. Oh well. Okay. It's out there. There it is.
There it is.
Can you think of? How about? Do you want to give a question for both of us?
No.
No prompt. Seriously?
No. Yeah.
Is that because you can't think of anything? For anything?
Maybe.
You sound like.
I've never been good at coming up.
Okay.
I've never been good at coming up with
Anything?
questions or
Okay.
prompts. Yes.
Anything.
Or remembering specific events in my life. Unless it's very significant, or if it just comes up.
Okay. I'm talking about. Yeah, but we're only talking about significant stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, really, I don't know. I guess for the happy one was, of course, it was in 2019, or it might have been, no, yeah, it was definitely 2019, and this was like December. And I was going to the private school, the good one, and I had like this. I had to do like this music. It was like this like concert thing for music. Like every student had to do it. We were basically all just playing guitar or something. I don't know. It was something like that, you know. And so I had to stay in downtown after school. And in my friend group, I never, like, everyone pretty much did something after school, like every day, because they all lived there. But because I lived so far away, I usually just left, which was sad. Because I wasn't comfortable with taking the SkyTrain by myself at that point. Because I was still pretty young. I was like 13 or whatever, and I had anxiety about it, so I never took it by myself.
Reasonable.
Um, sorry.
Reasonable.
Yeah. So yeah, that was made me sad. But I had to stay in downtown because I had like this concert thing. So we all went out, and we kind of just like,
Did cocaine.
yeah, we kind of we kind of just I don't know, I don't really know. It was, I can't really explain what we did. We kind of just, I don't know, talked and like just walked around. I think maybe we played a couple of games or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know. I was just happy. I was just happy because I never really got to do that, and it was fun. And I don't know. It was like the sun was setting, and then it got to nighttime, and then
Yeah.
it was great. And it was like right by the water too. I like this park.
Okay.
It was great. I mean, that's a happy thing I can think of. And it was around Christmas time. So that was even better.
Isn't that ironic though? Like, you wouldn't expect that to be the answer, but isn't that ironic? Like, that's just a,
How is that ironic?
because it's such a ordinary kind of thing where hanging out with people becomes your happiest memory ever. Like,
Okay, it's not my happiest memory ever, but it's up there for sure. It's the happiest thing I can think of.
my whole
It's not my happiest memory.
crap.
That's not my happiest memory ever. Definitely not. But yeah, that was yeah. I don't know. I think ordinary things should be probably the most happy. I think if you ask most parents like what their happiest moment is, it's probably
Their kid.
yeah. Like it's probably the birth of their child.
Or like their first steps or words or something.
And that's ordinary, but it's also unique
For them.
because the experience is your own.
It's yours.
It's exactly like it can't be exactly replicated. Sure, it's, I don't know, cliche or whatever, but like those are just the parts of life that you should relish and enjoy. Doesn't matter if it's ordinary and happens to a lot of people. Doesn't have to be something hugely unique thing. It should honestly be relatively ordinary.
By the way, I thought of
you are like allowing yourself to enjoy life.
I thought of another thing that isn't ordinary.
What is it?
In grade 10, when I worked my butt off in this class for the most tough teacher, but my favorite teacher, and I never worked this hard. 9 hours of studying per quiz and freaking telling people my notes and rewriting the teacher's notes. That all took like literally 9 hours. The whole year, grade 10, I was like, no one was harder working than me. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't put Josh or Michael on the same level, even though they were way more consistent than me. That was because I can only tell you about 1 year. But that 1 year, nobody compares. I didn't get the grades. I was just the hardest worker. And I left the class in my favorite teacher's class, and when I realized it was all over, and I actually worked for something, and I did get a better grade in the end, it was the greatest walk down the stairs ever, and I said, I'm never taking that class ever again. 2 years later, I'm back in that class. Such a dumb thing. And then I ruined my GPA.
Cool though.
Oh yeah, I thought of another one that's also exceptional. It's not an ordinary method. Memory. Thanks. is super happy though. In grade 6, I was a naughty kid from kinder. I don't know if you knew this about me. I actually maybe saw a little bit of narcissism when I wanted to change. Oh, play the
Yeah.
game in my way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I was naughty. I was a naughty kid. In everywhere, just in my life, I was a naughty kid from kindergarten to like grade 5 or grade 4. No, kindergarten to grade 2, I was naughty. I was the one who would have to talk to the teacher sometimes, or getting sent to the principal's office for something stupid a couple times. Actually, once, and it was not my fault. We were playing helicopter, and I tagged Dan, and he cried, and then Josh told the vice principal on me. And I had to cry, and I was crying, and I had to apologize to Josh for some reason. When they were playing it. You know helicopter, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
I hit Dan on the ankle with it, and he didn't understand the game. He just started crying because it hurt, I guess. Yeah, that wasn't a good experience. Anyway, I was naughty, and I didn't get good grades. And a lot of other dramatic stuff. People loved me, though. And still liked me. Not loved. Loved was grade 4 and 5. I had people literally chanting my name when this athletic kid, but I was friends with everyone in the class. I kind of toppled him. Like I tripped him, and because he stole my ball chair, and I stood up like a king, and I put my foot on the ball, and my leg was up, my other leg was normal standing, and everybody was shouting my nickname, and the noon hour supervisors were telling everyone, "We can hear you, multiple classrooms down." Okay, that's another happiest memory. But that one of the happiest memories of my life. I'm trying to give a backstory. I was not the typical. I wasn't a Michael Shunin. I was never a Michael Shunin. I was always the bad guy. I was always the naughty kid, the delinquent, the bad grades, the one, you know, that, I don't know. Grade 4 and 5 was different though. Everybody loved me and I had amazing grades, but it never stayed that way. I went back to being like the cringe now. Not as much naughty, but now cringe, the delinquent. Like, people didn't like think of me as like lesser. They were just like they actually thought I was really cool for my confidence when I was quite naughty. But when I was in grade 6, I was just cringe because I was just trying to be me, have fun. I was silly. In grade 6, I was just silly. So I'm just leading up, giving you a backstory that I never really had a consistent amount of time where I could genuinely be loved. So finally, in grade 6, we get to probably one of my worst moments, one of my worst years ever. The following year is much worse. And the following year after that, it's even worse than that year. But nothing really goes perfectly right for me. Only grade 4 did. And I get the worst grades of my freaking life. Like, I'm getting C's now. I went from getting A's to C's, and it's just awful. It's a complete downfall of what I achieved in grade 4. I went from delinquent to most popular and beloved to back to being cringe. Not even back to be, now cringe. Now nobody even recognizes my confidence. Now I'm just cringe and silly, and nobody. See, in high school, the cringe worked for some reason. Everybody liked the cringe. But in elementary, in grade 6, nope. I was actually I was seen as lesser actually then, and in grade 7. So grades were at my worst. Nothing went well. We played Fortnite at least. Started then.
Yep.
So I get back, and I feel absolutely hopeless, like I peaked in elementary school, even though that was a year before, or 2 years before. And I've finally experienced suffering, because up until then, my life has been completely perfect. But suddenly, horrible things happen. People aren't nice to me. people are quite jerks. Some people are real jerks to me and only to me. Things are horrible. All-time low, bad grades. I submit my assignment and my reflection, and it's not in the way that my teacher wanted it. And we go back to the classroom and it's empty. And she tells me, Tyson, one day you're gonna be the next Steven Spielberg, the next Walt Disney, the next George Lucas, the next whatever. You're going to be that person. You are special. There's something about you. You're that exceptional. You're gonna be that person. So despite the fact that you're doing it in a different way and that's why you got the grades you're getting, you're not following my criteria, I can see what you're going to achieve one day. I can see who you are and who you're going to be. Just follow my criteria. And that's probably up there for my top, like, 3, top 5. What do you think about that?
I think it's a bit of a weird thing for a teacher to say to a student, but
Seriously?
yeah, it's kind of not good. But
Like favoritism?
yeah, and also it's not healthy to say that, because that would make you have those kind of expectations for yourself, and those aren't healthy expectations, really.
Yeah, but for a person like me who isn't exactly stopped by anything that I really set my mind to, like, I really just bank on one thing. Everything that I do, I bank on one thing. Like you said, okay, let's say it all fails for me. Yeah, I would get the opposite end of the stick for that speech. But I completely disagree. I honestly think my teacher knew me. It's just that motivational speech that I would hold on to for years to come, because I still remember it, and it still gives me happiness because of what I've achieved and what I could possibly achieve in the future. Because
Well, it's good that it makes you happy.
I don't know, it's just, it was told to someone clearly with the drive and the potential, and otherwise, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I disagree. It's very specific to me. It's very specific. I think for most people it would not work, because most people aren't willing to do the crazy things required, the most obsessive things required to do something like to take such a risk. If you ever ask someone, like, what do you want to be when you're older, and they say you want to be an actor, you're trying to be an actor, the common response is always, it's never going to happen, or it's hard, or something. I don't know. I'm not that kind of person to just, like, find the odds and say there's a point where I'm going to give up. No matter how bad the odds are, that speech doesn't change anything for me. What I have in my heart is unchangeable. Unchangeable. So I get what you mean. I think for most people that would be an awful speech, because most people would not be able, then they wouldn't be able to attain.
I think, it's just no. I think it's good that you cherish that and that makes you happy. I don't have any problem with that. I have a problem that she would say that, because she should know better as a teacher. That's all.
What, to not give me expectations for myself when I'm older?
I don't think I explained it the best. It's just not a good thing to say. It's really not. Especially at that age.
I don't think so. I think it was the right thing to say, because if
But that no. To you, yes, but that is really lucky that it was the right thing to say to you. Because you could say she knew you, but
you just
she couldn't.
complimented me, thanks.
Well, I mean, you're welcome. I'm not trying to like downplay this for you.
Okay.
I'm trying to
No,
explain
that was a
why.
180.
I'm trying to explain why.
I thought that was almost insulting, but you actually ended up complimenting me. hugely.
I don't even know how, but you're welcome. I don't know.
You said she's lucky she said that to me, because if she said
Oh,
that
yes.
to the...
Yes.
Well, it depends if you say it to someone who's going to like try to do it and then it goes
The
wrong.
the reason why she shouldn't have said that is because, like you said, that she knew you, but she couldn't have known you really. Like, if you if you think about it, like she's not some kind of magic person. All right, she got lucky that she said it to you, and that it helped you. It's just, I think it's kind of a stupid thing to say to a child.
I didn't at the time. I didn't like the fact that she went on about the criteria part, so just focused on criteria. But
Yeah,
I think
that completely contradicts her entire speech. But yeah.
yeah, I think she was just talking about if you want good grades. But
Yeah, I know.
I believe that it works for me because I'm not the kind of person that would
Yeah, I know that. I know.
yeah.
You explained yourself. I understand what you're saying. I agree. But I'm just saying that it's not something you should say to a child, really, unless you really know them. And she did not really know you. That's literally impossible.
My attempt, and even if it ends at failure to attain whatever I want to attain, that's my own success for me. But for others, yeah, that speech might go haywire for them, and they might just think that their failures are just failures in the end, and just
I was thinking the opposite, actually. I was thinking they could internalize that and become overconfident and kind of just an asshole.
Oh.
That's...
See, I internalize that, and I become extremely confident with that, but the truth is, that's not true. No, I lied. I never think about it. Honestly, I think about it a few times a year. Like, that's how much I think about it. Maybe once a year, I don't know. Whenever I remember it. Last time I remembered this was probably 4 months ago. I don't know, while I was trying to sleep. I don't get my confidence from that speech. I internalized it, but I never actually became arrogant because of it. I honestly just felt like it was another stepping stone in my journey to just try and attain, just to try my best. Because I'm willing to accept failure. If I end up in 40 years not what I want to be now, even though to me now it's impossible that that's going to happen. If I don't end up to be where I am in 40 years, where I want to be now, you know, at least I tried, and that's all I want to be. That's all who I want to be. But yeah, to someone else, it might not work so well. It's either
I
gonna
think a
make them
lot of people. I think a lot of people are like
most
you.
people.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't think.
okay.
I don't think like it's a super rare kind of mindset to have.
Oh, to be like super
But
driven.
yeah, I think quite a bit of people have. I agree. I think most people, like majority, don't have that. But I think a lot of people likely have that kind of mindset. But
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people out there, but like I would sacrifice anything to get what I want in terms of my goals. Like, I would
yeah,
sacrifice blood, sweat, and tears for what I want. That's not like a 1 in a million. Like you said, there's people out there that are like that. Like,
like it's just like it's a personality trait, really, and with every personality trait, there's a lot of people that have that. It comes in a lot of different forms. Like
some people are more reasonable, like they have multiple backup plans.
yeah, like a combination of traits is what makes you unique. But so many people have similar traits. They're like the same of one trait, right? I
But
think being super
that
driven,
definitely motivated me to just keep my head up in life.
yeah,
Not
that's good. I think that's what the speech was meant to do, which is
That's
great.
all it was. Like, I'm not saying I'm gonna be a Steven Spielberg in the future. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
the fact that she's told me that I have potential in the future, great potential. It doesn't matter how great. She told me, okay, it did, because that was such a speech. But like, it was really just the idea that the combination of everything I had gone through, just to hear that, it just made me feel like, hey, everything's not lost.
Yeah, and that's good. I'm glad it made you happy.
You
I
know?
wasn't trying to downplay like the memory or anything.
Yeah.
I was just saying, you just asked what I thought. I kind of yeah.
You're gonna be mad, but I've heard that speech before from someone else to me.
What do you mean?
A similar speech from a similar person to me.
Like similar speech to your teacher?
No, a similar scenario as that one I just said happened to me. The same exact like thing I just said. Well, not the same exact thing, but
Okay.
similar speech. Yeah, but it reinforces what I already believed, which is what I am now shouldn't be a good gauge of what I'm going to be, because what I am now isn't great. that's the whole issue. I'm not like arrogant in the way that, oh, I've been destined for greatness. It was more like I'm capable for greatness because I'm not great. Boom. That's the best way I could say it.
Yep, I understand what you mean.
I want to appear humble. I don't want to appear arrogant. If I was arrogant, I would tell you that I internalized it and it's my motivation for everything, because I know that I already knew this. I'm going to be the next Steven Spielberg. I don't care what I'm going to be in the future. All I care about is what I'm going to try my best. And I like that people saw potential in me over the years and expressed it in different ways. And all that does is makes me happy. It doesn't make me arrogant. But yeah, some people, I bet they would feel arrogant or maybe sad if they never achieved something. This prompt really has I felt like that was an easy prompt in my opinion.
I mean, it was kind of easy to just come up with something like, that's what I told you. That's just like what I thought of as a really happy moment. But I think to find the happiest moment in my entire life, that would be like impossible.
Yeah, but I found mine.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like you've thought about that before.
I sounded like a kid. I found mine. like a little kid. Yeah, I've thought about it like. Yeah, I've thought about it quite a bit. Because all these prompts and all this stuff, this isn't new to me. This is what I think about. Like, it's kind of sad, honestly, because it's all in the past. I think about the significant things that have happened in my life all the time at night and during the day. You don't do this at all? You never self-reflect about your own memories?
I self-reflect on my own memories, but I don't try and figure out what's the most happy or whatever.
See, that's
like,
just
I have
fun to
memories.
me. That's just fun to me. I like picking.
Yeah, I think it's a fun thing to do, but that's a lot of work.
It's depressing too.
Yes.
It's awful.
Like when you
half these.
When you brought up. Yeah, when you brought up the worst thing anyone's ever said to you thing, like that.
See that?
Like that was sad. That was really sad.
Half of these prompts are sad.
Like that made me sad until like a few minutes ago.
Oh. Sorry.
That's okay. Or like until I like finally decided to tell you about something happy, and like that's I was sad, I guess.
Well, that's how things are. You can recover with happiness from sadness, at least.
Yes. Well, it's more. Yeah. I recovered. So I told you so. Ultimately. Yeah.
If you tell me another awkward story, I'll tell you another awkward story.
I mean, I don't even know if I have another awkward story.
Come on.
I feel like if I come up with something, it's probably gonna be pretty bad.
Good. I'll tell you some bad stuff.
Well, I mean, sorry. I mean bad as in not super interesting. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Oh. also, it doesn't help that not all of the people in front of me were male.
Yeah.
I could tell you another awkward one if it helps.
Sure. Actually,
Maybe I'll
wait,
help
no.
you.
I need to think. I need to think. I don't think I could think if you tell me a story. I need to think.
Okay. I think awkward stories are the best.
Yeah, or embarrassing stories, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of like the same.
Embarrassing and yeah, they are similar.
They're similar at least, yeah.
They go
Damn.
hand in hand. Awkward's a little... Embarrassing is worse than awkward, in my opinion. You told a very awkward
Yeah,
story.
embarrassing is way worse.
Mine was,
Embarrassing is way
mine
worse.
was
Awkward's
embarrassing, but not to a degree that was worse than your awkwardness.
yes.
See, it's awfully embarrassing what happened to me, but it's not as awfully awkward as that situation was with you, because there was 20 people looking at you. Then again, none of them really are. Those 20 people are gonna be like, "Oh, I remember when Noah shrugged."
Yeah. No one knows who I am in that school, alright?
No, I'm saying those 20 people. You're telling me those specific 20 people?
Yeah, they don't know who I am.
Because those guys who I'm talking about, those guys all would have had to know me because the guy who brought me over told them about me. That's how he
Yeah.
brought me over. He said, "Hey, blah blah blah," and then they were talking about me.
Awkward story. Awkward story.
Come on. No, I want to hear embarrassing. That's what I want to hear. Awkward's good. Embarrassing is great.
Embarrassing.
See, yours
story.
was pretty entertaining, but nothing beats an embarrassing story. Can I tell you something?
Sure.
No, I'll match you. Whatever you say, I'll tell you this story. Hopefully it'll compensate for your awkwardness in the last story. By the way, if you try to dap me...
Huh?
If you try to do a situation like that again, not that you were doing that situation, if I was ever put in that situation again, it would not be much better than... Because this isn't a simple... You know how there's like different kinds of like dapping?
Yeah.
This is a situation in which it's an uncommon one. They were all doing
Okay.
the other variation of the classic one. If you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, not really. There's a lot of different forms
It's like
of
the
that.
one where you fold your fingers together almost. Like, it's not like a cupping one. You know the cupping one?
Yeah.
It's not
That's
a
the
cupping
normal
one.
one.
The normal one,
Okay.
I could probably do. Now, I could probably do. Then, I don't know. But now, I could probably do. Then, I couldn't do anything. And this was the finger one. This is the one where it's like the ends of your fingers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you hive someone and then the ends. I didn't really get that concept. I tried my best, but it obviously didn't work out. I thought I was gonna get it. I was like, I'm gonna get this. I know what I'm doing.
Who daps up like that? That
Especially
fucking
7 of them.
sucks, dude. That sucks. That's a terrible system.
Yeah. How am I
The other one's
supposed to know
great.
what to do?
Even and when there's like a when the dap up's good, you can even hear that like noise, that satisfying like.
Yeah, but if you can't hear it and
Ah.
it's bad, it's still a success. It's still a
Yeah.
success. The finger one can be fricked up.
That's ridiculous. I never like. No one does that, bro. No
Well,
one
it
does
happened
that
to
shit.
me. Happened to
Yeah, I
me.
know. I don't know. Embarrassing. I don't know, man. I really can't think of anything.
If I told you something, would it help?
Probably not.
Okay. Would it make you more motivated to think of one? Nothing?
I mean, okay, I just thought of something.
Okay. Okay, is it interesting?
I mean, I don't know. I think so. I think it's interesting enough to tell.
Okay.
It's not. I wasn't too bothered by it, but it was mostly like at that point I didn't really care too much. But I think if you think about it, it's pretty embarrassing.
Okay.
Also, really unlucky. It was really unlucky.
Embarrassing. Okay, I'm liking the start of this.
This is just what I could come up with. I don't know. You can be the judge of how good it is. I can't really give it a rating. I don't know, because I don't really care about it that much. But okay, it's recent as well. It was the beginning of semester 2, like last semester of high school.
This is recent.
And I just,
Okay.
well, this is pretty recent, yeah,
This is, yeah,
a few months
okay.
ago.
Interesting. It makes it more interesting, actually. Is what I meant.
And so I had just switched. I just dropped pre-cal 12 because I don't know. I felt like I wouldn't have. It wouldn't have worked long term. So I dropped it, and then I took fitness, yeah.
Okay.
And the very first day, we do a warm up, and the warm up is going for a run. It's just 2 laps, and it was first thing in the morning. Issue was I was really nauseous.
Okay. Did you throw
First
up?
thing in the morning. It was bad.
Okay.
So we went on the run. There's 2 laps, so about like 1.5 kilometers or something, a little more. I ran it moderate speed. I think I ran it in like 6.5 minutes or something. And then I was mostly fine after. I was mostly fine, and I felt okay. Just like I mean, I was tired, but I was okay. And then we went up because in our gym, there's the weight room is upstairs. It's like up these stairs. It's in like this little area. It's like it has it's its own room literally. So went up the stairs weight room, and the air up there, it's pretty bad. It's not great air because it's up. It's a small room. A lot of people in it. There's weights and stuff in it. It's not obviously it's not like super clean, right? So my teacher's there. He's give me all this stuff because I obviously I was there like 2 weeks late and explaining the course and stuff, and like I was trying so hard to to pay attention to him, but I was feeling more and more sick. Like every second I was like my vision was going blurry.
Yeah.
I was really nauseous. And what made it worse is that there's this guy who also was just starting, and this guy was like a really like athletic guy, like
Okay.
for sure. And then so I was trying really hard to like not be sick, but eventually it was so bad I had to tell my teacher like I feel so good, I'm probably about to throw up.
and then like I kind of like gagged
Okay.
and like was like around the trash can. I almost picked up the trash can and to go down the stairs with me,
Yeah.
but eventually, like you just said, just go down the stairs, try and get the grass. And so I did, and there's like people outside working out outside, and I had to like walk past them on the grass, and I just gagged for like a few minutes.
Okay.
I had to tell them that I was feeling sick because they were looking at me,
Okay.
and that's pretty much it. And then my teacher came out, I talked to him for a while, and I explained like
You won with a nice mid-game
how I
mating
feel in the
tactic,
morning.
turning an even game into victory.
But yeah, that was embarrassing because like that was like the very first day on that, and I was sick as if like I was so out of shape that the run made me sick, but that wasn't
Oh.
it at all.
Uh,
But really, I don't care. I didn't care too much about it, but that's all I can really think of.
so you were like
I think
gagging
it's
in
object.
front of the
Yeah,
athletic kid?
yeah, and everyone in the weight room, and then
Oh.
again in front of everyone
I
outside.
didn't catch that part.
I didn't tell you that, but I kind of
Oh.
just because everyone was in the weight room, or most people were, and then everyone else was outside. I think everyone outside was like all like the girls in class or whatever, because they pretty much just did nothing the entire semester. But
Damn.
yeah, no, it was embarrassing, but like I really like whatever, I don't care, because I knew I would have been really embarrassed if I was sick because I was out of shape, but I knew like the run wasn't why I was sick. I mean, it made me sick because I was already feeling super nauseous, but I wasn't sick because I was out of shape. So I knew the truth, so I wasn't that bothered, but so I didn't really care. But it was still like embarrassing. Hey man, I don't know how you think of that, if that was even worth telling.
No, sorry. I was playing. I was playing chess.
Okay.
No. I was playing a super long game of chess, so
Yeah,
I
no,
could take
that's
in
fine.
what you were saying.
No, that's fine.
Normally I
I
play
was playing.
1 minute games. This was like
I
a
was playing
5
Brawl
minute.
Stars while you were
Okay.
telling your stories, and while I was telling mine.
Alright. Oh man. See, the main thing is that people might think that it's because of running, right?
Yeah.
What would you give that out of 10? I'd give it a 5 or a 6, which is pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. But as to how much it affected me, like maybe like a 2.
That's good. No, that's a good story in terms of, like you said, it. Okay.
Like I said, what?
Oh, you said earlier something like you couldn't think of anything like super like as entertaining as the other one, but no,
Yeah.
that was so that was embarrassing. Regular embarrassing. Yeah, yeah. I could give you a full blown embarrassing one.
Sure.
Well, awkward, more so.
Yeah.
So I was in class, and I was in a group with, well, the entire class was just girls for some reason or something. Not in the entire, maybe like a little more than half. And I was in a group, and I don't ever have a filter. And the way I was doing things, this is really awkward. the way I was doing things, I guess. Okay. The way I was doing things. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's just awkward. It's not embarrassing. It's so awkward.
Okay.
The way I was doing things wasn't particularly like. It wasn't like a. I don't think it was like a. Specifically, like a Riz thing. Like reaction. But I made two of them kind of giggle or something
Okay.
a couple times, and I went a bit too far after that. So I went from being very, very, very amusing, like not in a laughing
Yeah.
at you way, in like a
Like, kind of charismatic in a way.
like not as far to say like a rizzing way. This is such a stupid, but in like along the lines of that in comparison to a laughing. It wasn't a mocking. Can I tell you why it wasn't a mocking giggle thing?
I mean, I don't think you really need to, but if
Okay,
you want.
whenever I said something kind of like unintentionally funny about the assignment, they kind of just looked at each other and kind of like giggled. But that happened a few times, and I would be telling you that story, and I would say that's a pretty. Oh, what's a charismatic story? But no, this is an awkward story because guess what? It didn't remain that way. I went
Yeah.
from no filter and funny to no filter and mean. So, yeah, that's it. Basically, well, that's not it, but
No, it's not what.
okay, fine. I'll tell you what happened. I may have gone too far with my no filter, and I wasn't doing it because I was getting a good reaction. I was just the same the whole time instead of in terms of having no filter. I just became mean because, well, I did something mean and I didn't realize it at the time. I had to apologize the next day, but I kind of corrected. See, I was, I guess, making them amused or laugh a couple times. This was only a couple times. This wasn't like a full 5 minutes. I'm not a freaking stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's only a couple times, and I was just barely being criticizing in a funny way, unintentionally. Like, oh, I'm not gonna give examples because I don't know. This makes me so uncomfortable thinking about this because I made such a bad mistake, and I could have kept going that way, and it could have been just a really charismatic story. But instead, I have to say that I was a bit mean with my criticism in the end, and I ended up making one of them a little upset, like a little upset, not like bad upset, but a tiny bit upset, like maybe like 4 out of 10 upset, 3 out of 10 upset, kind of like not quite to be pissed off, but graciously annoyed to a visible level. And the other one was still trying to like laugh and stuff, and I looked and I saw, and they saw the fear in my eyes. Not the fear. I don't like use that word.
I'm a little confused. Wait, so what did you do?
So I criticized them too far. I went from criticizing them lightly and in a funny way unintentionally, and then I criticized them too far. One of them too far, and one of them didn't realize.
What'd you say?
Well, I basically said they were doing it completely wrong.
Okay.
So I went from talking about little things to, oh, everything you just did was completely wrong in what we just worked on. And that upset them for some reason, and well, I mean, it's not a nice thing to say. I didn't say that. I didn't say that directly. I was just kind of saying things along the lines of that. And across the way,
Okay.
the other one was still trying to giggle about, I guess, me or what I was saying, and then they saw the fear in my. Okay, I don't have no fear, but they saw the uncomfortability in my eyes, and that was the moment they realized, because I was now serious. Now I was like, oh frick, I upset someone. So then the other one looked at the other one, and then had the same face as me. We're both kind of like, oh frick. Because this went from really wholesome to bad, and that's the whole. It was so awkward, trust me, because they went on to a long rant about, not against me or anything. They were just really they were a tad upset. They were like 4 out of 10 upset, which is enough to make the situation a situation. So the next day I said I apologized sincerely. Like I really.
How'd they take that?
They said it's fine, and I said it's not fine. I said what I did was freaking wrong.
Okay.
I was a little more mean than just saying everything you did was wrong. I was a little worse than that.
Okay.
I hugely regretted that. It's because in group
Was that
projects.
an awkward story?
Oh yeah, it was so awkward for a while. After I did that and they had that reaction, it was so awkward for the next like 5 minutes. It was the most awkward thing for 5 minutes after that. The 5 minutes after was literally like a 7 out of 10 of awkwardness, because I just went from like, this could have been a charismatic story to like this. I just seriously upset someone. It's so bad. Yeah, I still have thought about that a few times after. It was a year ago, granted. What do you
Okay.
think?
I give that a 6.
Okay. It's just no. They were upset. They were really upset.
Yeah, I understand.
They expressed it actually. If I started out mean and I stayed that way, I would have been like, okay, I was mean the whole time. But since I went from literally like, I don't know, I was amusing and then suddenly mean. It's just. Here's a funny story. A few years before that, because I hate being in group projects since nobody like. It's not that nobody works as hard as I do, which is common. A lot of people don't work as hard as I do in group projects. I just don't like. I don't care about that. It's the idea that they don't. A lot. It's not the idea. Most group members just don't listen to me. They never listen to me. They think I don't know better than them, even though my grade average is like way more than they could even imagine numbers could go. Way more than they could imagine the number in terms of how high it could go. Like, I don't understand it. I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just saying, you're telling me they're not even telling me what to do. They're not listening to anything I say. Nobody listens to me in group projects for some reason. Has ever. It's the most annoying thing. One time I had a group project and I wanted to put diagrams and tiny planes on the side of my on the frickin' brochure we were doing, and we got an 8 out of 10, even though everything was perfect about it. And they actually kicked me out of the Google Doc when I did that and let me in like the next day or whatever. And then we asked the teacher, why didn't we get 10 out of 10 or more than 8? And he said you didn't have any diagrams or anything like that on the side of the paper. It was literally what I said, word for word, and they didn't listen to me. I think I made a joke out of it. Not necessary. I think that's what they said. Well, it's not necessary. So for the next 2 years, I just kept telling them, Not necessary for a certain thing. Anyway, I had a group project a long time ago, and I was kind of mean. Anyway, it's fun, not a funny story. It's just a mean story.
Okay. Okay.
This is the worst story in which one of them's the same person. I stayed up till 5 a.m. doing this project, and they wrote me a list of all the things I had to change, which was so much of the actual video. And part of the video, if you pause a frame in it, it literally says, I stayed up to 5 for these people, are you kidding me? And the title was, We're Not Friends, with capitals. Oops, I just outed myself for what it was, but yeah, that was it. And at one point, I went up to them and they said, oh yeah, we made up the script in like one day, or like an hour or something, and I said, oh, I could tell, as a jerk, like as a sarcasm kind of thing. Yeah, that's just a random mean. Those are the only two mean things I really ever said at school, where I was just really just trying to be mean. Actually, I wasn't trying to be mean the first awkward time. If I tell you another awkward one, will it inspire you to push harder? I can't tell you. There's nothing more. I think we really reached our limits in terms of most awkward. Your first one was. There's different stages, so it was interesting. Oh no.
Yeah.
I can think of one.
Okay.
It's like an 8, so I can't say it. It's actually so bad.
Why not?
So bad.
Just say it.
I'll think of a different one.
Bro.
There's something. Oh, I got one.
Okay.
So, a lot of my clothes when I was younger, I picked. Well, I didn't have a choice really. Oh frick. Okay, I'm so good here. A lot of certain clothes are not of choice. Certain way. Anyway, I was wearing this hoodie, and what I'm trying to say is, what the frick? And I don't know. What I wear now is basically the same every day, and every 12 is the same thing. But what I wore for a certain period of time was kind of it was kind of like just what my mom got for me from wherever and whatever. There was this one hoodie that I wore that was a soccer hoodie, and I had nothing to do with that team. I was wearing this hoodie, and this girl must have been like 2 grades ahead of me at Bing, and she said something like, "Oh, you're wearing the whatever that team is, and you're part of that team or whatever." So stupid. I was like, "What's that team or whatever?" It was so awkward. How's that?
I mean, that's just, I don't know. It's an elementary and like, it's such a brief encounter.
And they gave me the most disgusted look after. Oh, frick.
What?
I moved my queen by accident. Is there any other prompt that would be... Is embarrassing stories the only, like, really, really cool prompt?
Unless you can think of another one.
Good try.
You could think of a different format instead of the most
Oh yeah,
something
true,
something.
true. Frick. Okay. I'm gonna get a checkmate, and then I'll think. But I'm literally about to get a checkmate. Checkmate. Got it.
Nice.
I got 2 great moves. Wow. 2 great moves. Better when there's more time to think. We got a game review from that? No. Game review. Alright, let me think. Do you think the story kind of thing should be kept, or just what do you think?
No, not necessarily.
How about something present right now?
Sure.
Okay. If you could grant... No. No, I'm not answering that. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Okay.
It's not a bad idea.
Suppose not.
And relates to the present. Maybe. No, that's what you do in school. This week I did this. I went to this. I could think of more prompts with ChatGPT.
Sure, bro. I thought that's what you were doing.
No, I asked it to make a new game. Initially.
What?
Greatest regret. That you could think of. By the way, do you want to stay in the blue? The blue?
The blue?
The newt. People.
Nudist?
Oh no. The newt world. I don't care.
Me either.
I mean, we could continue this while playing, right?
I think so.
I think it was just deeper before, like, the awkward thing.
Yeah,
Because there's so many to pick from, right?
indeed.
You had the most with the awkward thing than any other
Yeah.
to pick from. Alright, do you want to hit it? I'm hitting it.
Okay.
Biggest regret, what do you think? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't even know what.
Interesting. Biggest regret. This feels so weird playing this game right now.
That's just...
I need to close test.com. It's gonna say. I should close it as soon as possible. This is actually so weird.
It's very strange.
Remember that time you said that the only way that Michael, Josh, and Dan and I...
Yes, it was on this map.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Biggest regret, sad. That's a sad prompt. Why did ChatGPT come up with a sad prompt?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
I saw another prompt that ChatGPT made, but I don't know if you become doing it.
Oh, what is it?
Because, you have a girlfriend, so.
What is it?
It's. I think it was something like. See, I don't know. I'm not big on this topic. I'm not like a woman. Anyway. I don't, wait,
What?
was that sexist?
Well, it depends on what the question is. What's the question?
It said something like crush something, first crush. Was that sexist what I said? I don't care. I don't give a crap. You want to do that or not? I don't care.
What do you... What's the question? I'm confused.
Well, the question was, it was a first line. That's all it is.
Huh?
What I said. Wait, you didn't hear what I said?
No, I think I heard what you said, but...
Oh, okay. Explain it.
Oh, what's the question exactly?
Well, like, your first. Is it just me or is this? Wait, is this actually? I don't know. Isn't it a little self-explanatory?
I guess so.
Like
Explaining
not,
it.
like not. Oh wait, actually maybe I get what you mean by like, what is it pertaining? I think what it's pertaining is like a description of what it's asking. It's not.
Whoa. Damn, what are you talking about, dude?
I don't know what
Oh my
it just
God.
gives me a prompt. Gives me prompts.
Yeah, I'm asking what the prompt is.
Well, I think it's not asking for a name. It's just asking for maybe like a time or an event. That's the dumb one.
Okay.
Up to you though. I don't really think that's a good prompt because I don't care.
It's kind of whatever. I don't really want to do the regret one either, because I don't know. I would go to the meeting.
I'm not one to have great thoughts about that kind of thing.
What do you mean, regrets?
No, just that specific prompt is very like insignificant to me.
Okay.
Like unless that's like a significant other now, I feel like that's pretty insignificant. Like it might
Yeah.
be significant for some people, I just don't think it's very significant for let's say 50% of people.
Yeah.
Unless you're, of course, around that age. That should be for like, I don't know. That might be significant when you're, I'm gonna say a bit younger than us. That would be when that's really significant. Maybe like, I don't know. Definitely younger than us.
Yeah.
What's another prompt?
I don't know.
See, you know, everything that I can think of is just sad. It's all depressing. Nothing.
Fine,
happy.
that's fine. It's okay. Good to talk about sad things too. Unless you don't want to.
Saddest
But you're
memory
thinking of
was
them.
what I was thinking of.
I don't know.
See?
I don't
See
know.
what I mean?
These questions are. I don't like these questions. Like, they're just the same thing, but I don't know. Do you like?
Well, that's because I'm at a creative rut. I have to see that. Oh, that wasn't from ChatGPT. That was from me.
I know. But you're asking like the same questions. The
Yeah.
same
I'm at a creative rut.
I can't even help because I suck at making questions. Oh, you ready to hit the teleporter?
This is the most stupid thing I've ever seen someone else do.
Oh wait! A shrine of gold. We don't need the blue portal at all.
Let's go. Wait, why did I notice that? I never said anything.
I don't know, me too actually.
I remember saying it, but I wasn't thinking. See, the problem is the awkward one's so good, the rest are just so much worse.
Yeah.
Found the new altar, by the way. Oh wait, you found it.
I already, yeah. We don't even need it.
See, I don't know. The rest kind of just suck in comparison. I think the happiest one and the awkward one are the only good ones.
I don't know. You need to come up with like an actual good question.
Okay.
Wait, I can literally just hold on. Well, I can hit them off the map.
Really?
I have to get the right angle though. That didn't work. Oh,
That's not good.
that's okay. See, look, I hit that guy over there.